Good morning. It's been a week since we put our bees in the hive. We're going to check on them today, and it's really chilly here today in northern Illinois for Mother's Day weekend. It's about 48 degrees maybe. At least the sun's shining, but it's very chilly. So we're going to go with it because we got to check on them. And I chose today over the other days in the weekend because it's supposed to rain tomorrow and be 10 degrees colder. So it's not ideal checking conditions, but I feel like I have to check on them. Also, I just want to say that I'm learning from every mistake, and every day that goes on I learn something new. And one of the things that I learned that I didn't do right, careful buddy, I didn't put enough fuel in my smoker. I took the instructions kind of at face value that those little starters would last for 5 or 10 minutes, and I put a couple in there plus some fuel. I thought I'd have a half hour or so, but I didn't. So I read more about smokers and keeping them lit all day. And then the other thing is, last time I used a little bit of water to calm the bees, and my book did talk about using a little bit of sugar water to calm them. So I wasn't totally off base, and it's not like a totally wacky thing, but I am just trying. They say there's 10,000 ways to do beekeeping, so I just got to find my way. And I know very little, but I'm learning. And of course, the purpose of these videos is to come with me on my journey. I'm not teaching anybody anything. I'm learning with you. So anyway, all that to say, we're going to start by lighting our smoker, and we're going to try to do a better job. And we're going to do a few things today based off of what we've learned this week and based off of the chilly weather here in northern Illinois. So without further ado, it's windy, it's cold. Here, I'm going to put that in there. Oop. I am just using, I could probably benefit from more than just matches. I was nervous at first that using like a lighter or something in the fuel would maybe be bad for the bees. Something else that I'm learning is to keep squeezing this, like it fuels the smoke. So also I guess it can flare up, like and flames can come out. So that's why I just say stay back, be careful, and
got a bee.
Anything else?
Got a friend.
Oh, yay!
Yep. Friend came to say hi.
Hello, my friends.
There you go.
Cool. Alright, so we grabbed the Zippo. If I can get a flame here. I just, this is the second time I've lit a smoker, and I want to do a better job, of course. I won't have the water to fall back on today, but I want to make sure that I do a better job of getting it lit. So this cardboard isn't coated or anything like that, so putting that in there. This is hard. My tiny little hands are struggling with this. I mean, this is like my full wingspan here.
Like you said, you were.
Yeah. Can relate to that song. Okay, we have our smoker most of the way packed. We're right about here, 80%, 90%, something like that. And when I start, it gives all these billows of smoke, thick smoke. We're not going to put the hot smoke onto the bees, but look at that. I think that's better than last time. Just like you're building a fire, but it's kind of a different goal. The goal is the smoke and not the flames. So, comfortable?
Comfortable.
All right. Now let's see. How do you feel?
smoke signals.
Blooper reel.
You gonna make it?
That went like into my soul. Okay. The wind keeps shifting. Okay, my point of smoking my soul just there was to show you my intent here now is to show you this I feel warmth on. Okay, it should not be warm. We don't want to cook our bees. So yeah, it's warm. I don't know if it's warm because it's cool outside. It's not hot. My hand's right here. I mean, that's warm, but it's not hot. So maybe it's because it's cold out. I'm not sure, truly. So, all right, we're gonna leave that bad boy for a little bit, suit up, gather up, and check on our friends. Okay, we're gonna suit up. Couple things, of course, putting on our jackets, our veils, tightening up. My pants are tucked in. They were last time too, I just didn't talk about that. She has tightened boots. Her suit is still on order. It's hard to get things during a pandemic, so we're improvising. And like I said, it's early in the season. The bees are calm, they're not defending honey or anything like that. So, putting this on. One more thing, take your rings off. If you happen to get stung and your fingers swell, that wouldn't be great. So just take them off. Oops, don't throw them on the ground. So, tuck them safely. Okay, all right, so for this little girl here, we ordered this from Man Lake. This is a vest. I'd ordered this for our lovely cameraman, husband and father, D. Careful, babe. Because he'll be there, but he won't be in the thick of it. It was only $20, and we didn't know what we were gonna feel comfortable in, what we were gonna want. We figured for $20, we could just have this on hand for visitors. Scraping off all of the excess comb from the bottom of the frames, tops and sides. My book says to take care and tend to this stuff every time you're at the hive, so otherwise it just is glued together if you leave it for too long. So maybe today's not the day to do that kind of thing because it's cold. I don't know, I'm learning. But I'm also looking for eggs, which I've spotted, the queen, which I didn't see, but the eggs are evidence of her. I'm looking for their capped brood, which is tan colored, and it's concave, not convex, and that's a good thing. It's in a nice pattern. It's not all spotty. I've spotted pollen or nectar in the honeycomb as well, green, yellow, orange. So they have food, but I'm going to talk more about food before we're done because of the temperature. So I'm going to keep working on this and I'll check back in with you. All right, I'm going to smoke everybody one more time instead of just putting the cover on. Like I had started to talk about, I'm going to feed them. You always feed packaged bees in the spring, but they arrive about a month before a Nook would, and they're brand new. And in the package is just bees and a queen. There's no frames, there's no drawn out honeycomb, there's no babies, so you're starting from scratch. Like I said in my very first video, I had paused this process this year, and so I didn't get a package of bees, and then when I decided to just go for it, they had Nooks. So that's how I ended up with a Nook, and it worked out well because, you know, they were started already. So feeding a Nook, the bee place thought I'd be okay because It's May. It should be warm. We should be all right. But it's cold, and I didn't see any honey in there. And from
Down
what
to about 30 degrees at night.
Yeah, it's cold at night, and from what I understand, we are not hurting anything by feeding them. I guess there's some people who don't, but like I was saying in the beginning, 10,000 ways to beekeep. So I'm gonna feed them so I don't kill them. This is a cheap, easy way to feed them. It's called a baggy top feeder, and it's sugar water, simple syrup for you bartenders out there, which is equal parts water and sugar. So I'm squeezing it out so they know it's there, just a little bit, and I think that'll be okay, hopefully, and they won't drown in it this way. And I don't need to have, there's a lot of different types of feeders. There's a potentially big problem with something called robbing, where wasps or other hives come in and steal their stores. And this can happen with feeding, but anytime with honey. So this is a good thing, like where there's not a whole lot of robbing, but if you have something on the outside, that's no good at all. You can get frame feeders, top feeders, and this is one of the things that my book talked about. So when you do this, you have to put on your next hive body to give it room. Excuse me, ladies. So, watch out. Okay. Okay, nobody's back there. All right, so you put that on, then you put on it's empty, no frames. But it just gives them space. So now I have on my inner cover, and then I will clear this off and put it back on. And okay, well, make lunch. I'm also going to find like a big rock or something to put on the top of this for skunks and raccoons and stuff. So we'll do that, and then I'll do a quick follow-up video. Okay.
Maybe you want to back up a little bit. You're still pretty close to the hive.
All right. Looking fine in the summertime. Okay. So the last thing, I put my entrance reducer back on. That helps them defend the hive, and so there's a space like this big that they can get in and out of, and I think it helps with heat too, because it's freezing. So I also put a giant rock on the top so no one can get in. And then the last thing I'm going to do, we have the benefit of pictures and videos, but there is a little checklist here that I am going to do. I'm pretty old school, so I like to do things pen and paper. But I might, they're so furry and cute. They are. But I might go with an app. I hate apps because it seems like you find a cool one and you download it and then you have to pay for stuff. But I hate to pay for stuff until I know that I like it. So anyway, so I'm gonna do this, and it just talks about what the hive was like if we found a queen, what the laying pattern was for their brood, you know, just the general things if we gave them medicine or anything. So one thing to just say about the sugar water, you give it in the spring in the spring and in the fall. And like I was saying before, I thought I didn't have to because it was late enough, being May. I don't think so. I'm just gonna give it to them, and if they drink it, good, it'll just help them. And if they don't drink it, then I can take it off. The one thing that you don't do is when you're gonna go for honey, you don't have it on there because A, they don't need it. If they're making honey, they don't need it. And I'm talking honey for us, not honey for them. So when we add our queen reducer, our queen excluder, and our honey supers, you don't need to feed them. And then also it would compromise your honey. So that's not honey, sugar water. Honey is nectar, and this talks about all about the chemical makeup of honey and the antibacterial properties and all of the awesome things that honey is. So we'll talk about that another time. But yeah, when you get a package of bees, actually he says to spray them with a little bit of sugar water. So I know spraying them with water isn't totally off base, but I just have to see what's going to work out best for us. But windy day, the smoke was even hard to get them to go down because they're all home because it's cold. They're not out flying, so they're all going to go back in their house and keep the queen warm, and hopefully they'll dine on some sugar syrup. And yeah, I think that's everything, and I'll fill out my checklist. Happy beekeeping.